Hi, everyone. And we're going to talk about navigating conflict in relationships. And we've chatted a little bit about this throughout. You've seen an interesting through line as it relates to communication, conflict, engaging with community, all of it starting with loving and caring for yourself. And so we're going to really lean into the conflict component of it a little bit different today. Because when I started looking at some of these questions, I look for a theme.
Right.
And so some of the ones that came up were, how do you handle conflict in a relationship without losing yourself?
Okay.
What should I do after a big fight? How do I come back to love without ignoring the issue? And how do you know when it's time to walk away versus working it out? So as we're talking about navigating conflict, I think some of these questions, though a lot of people would want to know the answer to these. These are questions that we ask ourselves.
For sure.
What I do think, though, is these questions are a symptom of something deeper.
For sure.
And when I say that, I mean, oftentimes we want to discuss navigating conflict before we acknowledge that we are deeply uncomfortable with conflict.
Right.
And so I think navigating our discomfort with conflict before we talk about navigating conflict would be helpful. So I think some of that may answer some of these questions.
I agree. First of all, relational connection is not the absence of conflict.
Can you say that again? Run that back one more time.
Relational connection is not the absence of conflict. You are not doing yourself or anyone any good by trying to always avoid conflict or tough conversations. You're not doing yourself any good by denying your emotions and what you're feeling. One of the things that I think is important, and it's really central to my work specifically with women's health, realizing that the spectrum of our emotions, there's a few that we don't feel comfortable. We haven't been socialized to embrace. It's been demonized, especially if you're a Black woman. There is a beauty and a power to be found and experienced in sacred rage. And I speak to rage often. The sacredness of it, the reclamation of your anger, yes, but I want to be really clear. Sacred rage and destructive anger are two different things. I don't want people to conflate even anger and abuse.
Right. This part. Because that's not what we're speaking to. That's not
what I'm speaking to.
We're not speaking to harm.
That is not
as it relates to expressing emotions.
No. But when you're able to work with these emotions, specifically rage, it is a catalyst for you to take action. It is a driver of passion. It is what will change your world and as a byproduct, other people's world.
Rage has such a negative connotation to it.
I dislike that.
No, I know, because you live in your sacred rage. Like, you and rage have a beautiful symbiotic relationship. But can you name or speak to a little bit, or just pull apart the negative connotation that people have put on rage and why and who it benefits?
Oh, hello. Who does it take for a moment? Sit. Who does your absence of expressing and sitting with and being present with your rage benefit? Who does it benefit? You walk out in the world every day and you conform in order to be, we say, safe. But you conform in order to be accepted. You conform in order, but your rage and your ability to be present with it, if you ignore it, who does it benefit? First of all,
I know where you're about to go. And I'm excited. Talk about the.
I'm going to speak from a lens of, I'm a Black woman, so I'm going to speak through that lens. That's the only lens that I can speak through.
It's the only one we get.
So me abandoning my full spectrum of emotion, which includes rage, it absolutely benefits whiteness. First things first, it benefits anyone who would like to see me not exist in my power. It benefits anyone or any system of oppression that wants to see you, me, you at home, not exist in your power, and so that you can continue to uplift and uphold the systems of oppression that are killing you. And this is the part that is really important. There are so many studies that are coming through now that are very clear. The science is there. Chronic illness, autoimmune diseases. I can speak from myself. I'm sure you can speak to it as well. The suppression of your emotions, and especially anger and rage, is contributing to a lot of dis-ease in the body. Dis-ease. And when you don't realize that, then you think that you're doing yourself a justice, or you're doing the right thing by not acknowledging the feelings, the emotions that sit within you. I comprehend that the stigma around being a Black woman will say, or even, there's another one as well that they say for Latina women. I've heard
the feisty Latina, the angry Black woman.
Women of the global majority.
Melanated women.
Melanated women who have an ability to express ourselves in a very beautiful way.
Right.
And not just beautiful, but in a way that makes you feel.
A way that expresses your feelings.
What's my favorite thing? Because we're human.
Because we're human.
Right? We're human. So the stereotypes that we have to navigate through.
Yeah.
And then wanting not to be in that stereotype can lend to our unwillingness to be present with our rage.
Right.
But what does Solange say? You got the right to be mad.
Also, Solange, if you would ever like to come on said show, we would love to have you here as well. And I promise we will not touch your hair. We won't do it. We will see a crane in the sky. We will not touch your hair because we know it's okay for you to be mad.
It's okay for you to be mad. No, it's okay to be upset with the circumstances. I want us all to not pretend like it's business as usual, like everything is. I want us all to be present with, and you if you're feeling fatigue.
Yeah, the reason why your stomach is hurting, it's not the thing that you ate.
Your head is hurting.
It's your body.
Your body is communicating to you, and it's communicating effectively. Your rage, your anger, your frustration, because sometimes anger is
layered.
It's layered, right? But you're having a correct response
to a situation
that's happening every day.
Yeah. No,
we don't have to perform niceness. You don't need to do that. I don't need to preface this with anything because we've already discussed the nuance around the circumstances and what environments that you're in. We're talking about you and me. And the truth of the matter is the sacredness of rage is going to be what helps you to reclaim your sovereignty and your liberation.
Right.
That thing that is swirling around in your head every night, that thing that you want to bring into this world, you're going to need something that fuels that. And Joy and play are my favorite things in the world, but you better believe that I create so much space for it because I'm able to advocate for myself.
Yeah.
Because this is about advocacy. This is about being able to know that when you are presented with difficult situations, conflicts, you need to be able to speak to this person, these people, with a sense of what's the right word?
Assuredness?
Yeah.
Knowing,
A
grounding.
knowing.
But you have to get to that point. And we can't even get there if we're not. It's almost like only so much can sit in your body at a time. Dr. Judith has a really good book called High Functioning.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things she speaks to in the book is venting.
Right. Oh.
And she has like the 5 V's to happiness. And it goes into all these like very beautiful pieces of it. One of the things she talks about is venting and goes into when you don't vent, the autoimmune diseases that come up, the things that are much higher for women of the global majority of melanated women. Because when you have like your emotions, they're like energy. Like they can't be created or destroyed. They're going to go somewhere. So when they don't come out, they are going to turn inward on you.
Yeah.
And so that is where you're seeing like the autoimmune stuff. You're seeing the headaches. You're seeing the shortness. And so it has to be released in some way. And for some people, I hear what you're saying. I'm with you on the like, I'm going to say the thing and need to say the thing. And we can also acknowledge some people aren't in a space where they actually are safe enough to let the rage out or feel like they can. Because if I say the real thing or if I say the feeling, I'll get fired or I'll lose this and I need this job or I need this thing. And so we're not necessarily taking it to that space, but we are speaking to us starting to find a way to actually engage, like, and not run from the fear. Right. Not run from that rage.
Being able to be present with it.
And I think if you've never been present with it before, because the fear of, the phrase, if I start crying, I won't stop. If I start feeling these things, I'm going to be on the bathroom floor in tears or I'm just going to lose it. The counter to that is if you don't start feeling these things, you'll never actually start healing.
So be it.
And I do think, and I do think venting is a good introduction if you're not comfortable with it, because venting doesn't have to look like interacting with another person. Venting can look like writing it down, like writing down what you're thinking, doing voice notes around what you're thinking.
Voice notes are because some people don't like to write.
Right.
I get that.
Sometimes like I just need to say a thing.
Say it out loud.
It can also look like to your work somatically. And I think we're going to get into that, actually physically shaking it out of your body.
Right.
But in the navigating conflict in relationships, I believe oftentimes, to your point, so many things we want to figure out how to fix with other people before, or work through or navigate with other people before we address it in us. And oftentimes, almost always, relationships are here to help us identify the things in ourselves that we need to work on because we can't grade our own paper.
And I mean, that's why I want to, again, clarify, like, destructive anger is not what I'm talking about.
Yes.
So destructive anger would be you ignoring the environment that you're in and then just lashing out. I'm not speaking to that at all. That is not what I'm talking about. I am speaking to your capacity to be present with all of you. And a part of you is the version that is feeling angry and enraged at a circumstance. And I tried to make it very broad and general. And that is that the current state of our world
is enraging.
And treating it as though it's not, I feel like it's
level of dissociation, which is very
come back. And I want us to come back to ourselves. And when you're looking at navigating conflicts in relationships and then understanding that what's your conflict with yourself as you approach or sit with or present with these particular emotions, the denser ones, the heavier ones to carry because we're socialized in this way, this is where you start to break it down. So venting can be absolutely that. I know that there have been prompts of screaming into a pillow and all of those things.
I actually love the screaming into a, I love screaming.
Me too.
First of all.
And a sigh. A A sigh.
Okay, first I thought you said a side eye, and then you looked in the camera, and I was like, oh, that was good.
Side eye also works. A side eye with a sigh is a chef's kiss. And so I'll spare you, but a sigh is very, very healing. It is a ancient practice of feeling something for this rage. And maybe in the moment, all you can do is, first of all,
your whole body just shifted.
First of all, think about when we speak. Sometimes, again, socialized this way, women pitch up in their voices to sound more feminine, whatever that means. And so they pitch up with their voices and don't even know your own voice. Do you even know your own voice, your actual natural, true voice? There's a practice. We can do it here, but there's way more to be seen and felt and experienced for this exploration. But feeling into your body, relaxing the low belly, maybe even place your hand on the belly or away if you don't feel comfortable with touching. And just relaxing that low belly. Relax throughout the perineum, just to all in the pelvic bowl, soften out. And then feel yourself maybe getting into a supported state. Maybe you use the wall or you use the chair. And then take a breath in. And you take a breath out. And then I'm going to go first, and I would love for you to do it as well. Take a breath in. And then...
Oh, that's like my screaming.
So there's a difference the way I'm speaking now to the that came out.
Yeah.
And when I speak like this,
that is a difference.
That's my true voice. And so my true voice is able to actually help me navigate in my rage and my frustration. It's not performative.
Right.
And it's at a lower register. And if it's at a lower register, I can feel that denser part of myself. My throat relaxes. And then I'm able to say, well, actually, and it comes out.
We go back to like the things from last time, the mudras you were talking about.
And so when I'm going to pitch back up because I'm here.
Now I'm back again. Oh, wow.
And so being able to, language and communication is, it's the nonverbal, but it's also the verbal.
So even if you're navigating conflict, if you hear I'm starting to get, maybe
I need to come down a bit. I think I've seen something before. It was like, I'm getting excited. I need to relax. I'm an adult. Like, all right, let me come down. And then what's here? What's down here? Because we talk about high vibes and low vibes, which no.
Sorry.
Please.
This time it was her face. Yo, I was not ready for that.
I can't help myself.
I know, but I was with you, and then oh gosh.
High vibes, low vibes. What does it even mean? But
God.
I want us.
We're gonna cut all that out.
Don't use it. But I want us to, I'm going to round it out. I want us to be comfortable with the density and the heaviness. And when I say comfortable, being able to be present with it and sit with it and then move through it. It can be screaming to a pillow. It can be some of the other practices I'm going to share with you. It can be the sigh where you find your voice. And the finding the voice can help you find and identify other things. And when you're able to be in relationship with yourself, and specifically your emotions, then you're able to move through the world with a greater sense of audaciousness and bravery. We need to be more courageous because courage is your capacity to be vulnerable. And I am inviting you and I'm encouraging you to start to ask questions around what are your tolerance levels with your own emotions? What can you tolerate? What
is your actual window of tolerance?
Yeah, where are you with it?
Mm-hmm.
And if you find that you are speaking to yourself or you speak to trusted friends, oh, I don't like being angry. Or if you have a negative relationship around things like anger or rage, start to examine
where that came from.
Because
some of it is warranted depending on how those emotions were introduced to you.
Mm-hmm.
It will impact what relationship you have with them. But you don't know if you don't start exploring it. So as we're thinking through navigating conflict, a question that often comes up all the time is, how do you know when it's time to walk away versus working it out? And I know this is more than likely more specific to romantic relationships, but this can go for all of them. How do you know when it's time to walk away versus working it out? I have a very real feeling around that, but I want to hear.
You sure you want to hear what I have to
say? Yes. I'm going to trust you, friend. No, I do, because that's a thing that people grapple with and wrestle with, in navigating conflict and the same type of conflict and all the things that we're talking through. I think people can sit with yeah, that makes sense. Now for my moment or for my situation in this particular moment, how do I know when it's time to walk away versus working it out?
Who are you ready and willing to choose?
No, that's
who are you ready and willing to choose? I'm making the assumption here that you've gone through episode 1, 2, and 3. You are doing the work to examine exactly how you build a relationship that is loving and that is two people, or however many, that are excited about coming together and resolving things and wanting to continue to choose one another. Mm-hmm. If you have done all of that and you find yourself at what I would say the proverbial end of your rope, and let me tell you, in your heart of heart, and your soul of soul, when it's too much. And if you find yourself continuously on this wheel of repetition, same situation, same argument happening over and over again, and I'm not putting this on anyone else, that you maybe even are rehashing.
Because we do, let's be honest, we continue to play into certain cycles. But I absolutely love how you named the way that you answer that question is, who are you choosing?
Who are you choosing? I mean,
are you choosing yourself and what you need, or are you choosing? And let me add a little caveat to that. Are you choosing yourself, or are you choosing others at the expense of yourself?
Yes. Because in any relationship,
and the abandonment of yourself.
That. Yeah. Because in every relationship, it's choice. Yeah. You're continuously choosing. Everyone's choosing.
But are you consistently choosing others at the expense and the abandonment of you? So. And if that is the case, walking away is a process. And we're not saying wait until exhale, grab all the stuff, throw it out, and be like, I'm done, set it on fire. We also understand there is a process, because you have to go from the acknowledgement of, for sure, this season with this particular entity or this version of this relationship has to end. Mm-hmm. And then it becomes a process of figuring out the how.
He said seasons.
Yeah.
But my grandmother said it to me, but I'm sure it came from other places. The season, a reason, season, and a lifetime, I think.
Yeah.
But she just loves to say it all the time. But understanding the seasons, and also understanding the seasons in your relationships. Mm-hmm.
There are some seasons in relationship that are just going to be hard. That's also when you may not need to make certain decisions. But again, if you've gone through the stuff we've talked about in 1 through 3, you know how much of that is about the situation, how much of that is about the circumstances, how much of the different people coming into the room, into this conflict are there, and how much of this is like, no, this is just who people are, and this season of me and this season of you, and this version of me in this season, this version of you in this season, aren't compatible in the same way, aren't aligned in the same way. And if it's family, I just now need to adjust and reassess and set certain boundaries around how I engage with you.
Yeah.
But that's just what it is. But the reason, season, lifetime, even in that, like that phrase, I think so many of us are looking, we're like, well, who is my lifetime? You.
Right.
Reason and season are other people. Lifetime, right here. You are always with you for life. Because even if you have the partner and y'all connect, like at some point, y'all will part from each other. Someone will transition. Someone will, whatever. You will always be with you until you are not here.
For sure.
And so even in saying that phrase, parsing out the like reason and season, everyone else.
That makes sense.
Lifetime, that's you, baby.
That's you. Yeah. I love that. For sure.
But you will always have to figure out how to navigate conflict with yourself.
Always. It doesn't stop.
Always and forever. There's going to be such a great soundtrack.
I mean, the playlist is just coming through. Knock if you're
in the comments, if you have songs, bring them in.
Yeah, we definitely did an official playlist. I love to curate a playlist, actually. So
I do like this. But no, and when we name all the things that we're saying, understand, 1, it's not prescriptive.
No way.
2, things change depending on the situation and the environment that you're in. And actually, I invite everyone that if there's anything that we said, with all things, take what serves you, leave what doesn't. And if there's anything that we named that created a visceral reaction or a deep resistance or a deep frustration, get curious about that. Get curious about, was it because it was something that you deeply disagree about with, which is completely okay? Was it something that struck a nerve, which is also okay? Explore it. Also, was it something that, extend us some grace because we're also human?
I want everyone to feel something when they engage with me. I don't want anyone to feel nothing. I want you to feel when you engage with me because I want you to be able to see more of yourself, experience more of yourself.
I love that.
To be felt is deeply human.
Yeah. And when you are not, what are we afraid of? What are we hiding from? What are we protecting?
Yeah. I am going to encourage you to befriend your fear.
Befriend your fear. Love the sacred rage.
Love the sacred rage.
Also, I love how you frame that. Sacred rage.
Yeah.
Because it also gives it its proper, I don't know, it gives it it puts it in its proper place, not to be feared, but to be revered, to be explored, to be understood.
Yeah, I think that it's mainly because systems of oppression want you to abandon yourself and sacrifice yourself endlessly. And I don't want that for anyone, especially for us. I don't want that. And I am always going to speak the possibly hard truths or even controversial. I'm perfectly accepted. I'm so happy with that.
And I love this about you. I actually am looking forward to when you all come back, we're going to do some somatic things to engage.
Absolutely.
In the rage.
It's so fun. Like the one that we're going to do is really fun. It's accessible for most. And even if the full body portion isn't accessible, and even if the breath part isn't, what's cultivated in that moment, it will fire you up. And in that firing up, what ends up happening, a lot of times people start laughing. When you think about when someone's angry and they start laughing,
that's actually when I'm most afraid. That's actually when I'm most afraid. When it's like, when they start crying, when they start laughing, you're like, ooh, something's coming, baby.
All right.
I love this. I'm excited for this. Well, stay tuned. Check into the next part of this where we actually get into how to navigate, move around, sit with our sacred rage, because until we can engage conflict and be comfortable with conflict in ourselves, we can't navigate it with others.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining
Thank
us.
you.
See you soon.